Morning, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear industry colleagues, media, and Entrepreneur India, and the organizers. Sorry, yesterday I was about to be there. Due to some other engagement, I need to go out. So, today I'm going to talk about India's ambition for EV journey. Today we are at 2 million EVs sale last year, and how we can go to 20 million is the scenario I am going to talk about. So that's going to be my topic, and thanks for giving me this opportunity. Let's look at what has happened to reach 2 million. Okay, I took FY15 because that's the year I moved to EV industry, from regular hardcore combustion engines to vehicle. That's where I started, but EV journey started at least much before that. It took 9 years after I came in to sell 1 million EV vehicle on a year. And that was the most toughest period for EV. There are many questions. Many of you what will happen to charging infrastructure? What happened to the technology? Will the battery survive and all that? I can tell you, whatever vehicle I have sold in FY15, those vehicles are still running comfortably better even today without any problem. It's almost a decade now. But the next 1 million happened in just 2 years. So what has happened in between this quick transition? I think India is a country which is initially very skeptical on new technology. Once you see the economics, then automatically it picks up. So there are a lot of things happen between industry, government and consumers between, I would say, 2015 and 2020, which helped us to progress on EV particularly. A lot of government policies, industry has invested, consumers have started using and feeling the advantage, and many things happen. Now, how can we make this 2 million to 20 million? And will it happen? Let's look at it. What I thought it's very important that we need to look at. Now, why EV? Lot of things you will see media. EV is no more the buzzword in auto industry. It cannot replace ICE. You will see many articles. But I want to tell you, in the context of India is growing at 6.5-7% as a country, and every time you have GDP growth, you need mobility growth, and the mobility for India reach is much lower. The cars adoption per thousand, whether it is availability of multimodal transport, everything is different. But India, as a responsible country, has decided to take the path of sustainable growth. If you look at, we are leading the Solar Alliance. There is a huge amount of investment going in solar and renewable and in energy generation. So there is a climate pledge by India that we will be net zero by 2070. There is a huge investment on energy capacity. Almost 1 trillion is being invested as part of the Solar Alliance in terms of renewable. India also gave what I would say nudge, not a regulation, to have about 30% new vehicle to be EV by 2030. There were a lot of disturbances happen. Industry said no, consumers said difficult, infrastructure said difficult. But when you see what has happened between 2015 and now, some of the sectors have already crossed 30%. So don't even wait till 2030. And there are some sectors which are showing indications that it will reach around the 30% mark. But I would give credit to the government of India, because both central government and state governments have done a phenomenal job in setting up PLI schemes, demand incentive schemes, skill development, and state-wise, I think there were many incentives given on no permits, no registration. I have a EV with me, almost road tax is nil, and registration charges are almost negligible. So it's a substantial policy push happened by the regulators to bring in this. It's all happening because of what? Very simple. India can't depend on energy outside, which is about 85% today. And if we grow at 6-7%, the amount of energy we need to provide both electricity as well as mobility to every Indian per capita is going to be huge, and that cannot be done by burning fuel. So I would say these are all the growth drivers till now. And we have seen about 7.4% of EV adoption across all sectors. That's about tip of the iceberg, I would say. And if you look at huge numbers have come from two-wheelers. While the numbers are high, the adoption is still just 6%. If you look at three-wheelers, the numbers are low, but already it has crossed 50% adoption. Government said do 30% by 2030, where every industry member, every consumer said it's not going to happen. In one segment, it just happened by itself, with, of course, with all the incentives and consumers. And I was very pleased to say that when I was in my earlier tenure with the Mahindras, we launched something called Mahindra Trio three-wheeler. That was the first platform with lithium-ion battery in three-wheeler. So when I was going to consumers, when I was going to board, everybody said the three-wheeler is driven by a bottom of the pyramid guy. He doesn't know technology. How are you going to sell it? I said technology is not sold. It's a product is sold, and he or she should not be worried about technology. They should earn money, make more money than the regular diesel fuel or fossil fuel. And that's it. Customers should only earn more money by the product per month. And we proved that about 6,000 rupees every month auto driver will earn more by electric, even after paying a higher EMI for their vehicle. That is the win which has transformed the three-wheeler segment. And many women drivers came in. Auto rickshaw is typically male-dominated, right? Now you don't have a gear, you don't have all these problems going and standing in the petrol pump queue. I met many women, and they said, my life is transformed. I used to be a house help. Now I am independent. I have a vehicle given by some government scheme, and I am driving every day, charging at home. I am self-independent, and I am earning 15,000-20,000 rupees without nothing. So it transformed the lives of the people. So any technology we say it's sustainable and all that is fine, but ultimately it has to transform the life of the local community and make value to them in the business what they do. That's what has happened in three-wheelers. Now, similar story has to happen everywhere. Government is pushing two-wheeler, cars, it happens by itself, and there is a lot of push on commercial vehicle. I believe commercial vehicle will play a role. Out of the whole commercial vehicle, buses seems to be, again, the higher adoption by 3%, but that is mainly because state transport undertaking and the central government, and many of them want to get into electric buses. Now, how do we tap this potential and how do we make? Is 2 million enough? Somebody asked, there are challenges. There are plenty of challenges. Any new technology, any new business, there will be plenty of challenges. But we have plenty of youngsters. I have met so many of them here who are coming up with innovative ideas on charging and new technologies. We should see that as an opportunity as a country. What is the new business potential available on charging? What is the new business potential available in financing? What is the new business potential available in products? And even business model. Nobody wants to buy a vehicle. Many of them come and tell me, just run it and I'll pay per kilometer, like what Uber and Ola is doing. So I see this as a huge opportunity, and 2 to 20 million, when I say it should not happen without innovation. It should happen with innovation in India, which will really transform the lives of the people here, and how can we do more. So what do we aim? I have set my own target. You all can beat it for industry. I said we need to move from 2 to 20 million. Good. It is not going to happen easily. It's not going to happen by one entity. It's not going to happen by one individual. It's going to happen by collective progression, both by everyone involved in this ecosystem. So my thoughts, there may be many. If you have some ideas, please share. There will be many. We need, as a country, to progress from 2 to 20 million, which is a 10x growth. by these principles which I have kept. We need to do product innovation. We can't be just bringing technology and make in India here. We need to do product innovation in it. Second, we are not a technological leader. Right now, we are a follower. But believe me, all EV are almost what I would say software-driven wheels. It's software-driven vehicle, what I would say. But India has a huge software knowledge bank and capability, right? Why can't we bring in, integrate technology and software team together and build innovation around it and get into new products both for India and even for globally. The third one is you can talk any technology in India. If it is not giving a total cost of ownership or a value to our customers, he or she is not going to touch it. They will come and see in the conference, see it, touch it, they will not buy it. Indians are very, very, very conscious what money, personal money they spend, and it has to create value. And that can happen only when innovators like us bring in products and technology and solution to create value to customers. Somebody was telling Tesla has to come to India. Yes, Tesla has to come to India. Now, what it will make difference in the country? It will not make a big difference. According to me, it will make an impact. It will not make a big difference in life of Indians. But if a three-wheeler is converted to electric, if a commercial vehicle is converted to electric, if a vehicle which is running large and emitting more pollution and also being an issue for the operator, if we convert them, it makes a lot of impact to the society and the country. The fourth one is manufacturing. You have seen what's happening between China and other countries and India and others. Sometimes technology, supply chain are being used as a geopolitical tool for progression. So we are going to have a challenge unless we have alternate methods and alternate supply chain solution, and we build in manufacturing systems and solutions for this new technology, and hence there is a lot of work happening. I will not say no, many of the things are happening, but we need to do more to make sure we go there. Charging infrastructure, one of a young entrepreneur came and told me he has got into charging infrastructure. We have to do a lot of charging infrastructure work, but I feel it is too much over talked about and less work done. Everybody talk about charging infrastructure. What do you do with charging infrastructure? So I had a EV vehicle, so I was to go to a place called Tiruvannamalai, which is nearby. So I said, I want to go in EV. Somebody said, no, you will get stuck. I didn't get stuck. I just took the vehicle, went to the hotel. Hotel had a parking lot charging. I could overnight charge and come back. My vehicle is now 500 kilometer range. Vehicles are available in India, made in India, designed, developed and available in India. That's what I buy. And that vehicle goes 500 kilometers. I can charge overnight, come back. I can go all around Tamil Nadu, wherever I want. Minimum 500 kilometers. It's available. Charging infrastructure is picking up. And a lot of youngsters are coming in because Government of India has made it PPP model and allowed many entrepreneurs to come in. Having said that, while the new generation is coming in, there is a challenge in auto industry where we'll have to upskill the existing, what I would say, skill base of workmen, officers, whatever you call, even thought process. And then we need to get into a new way of business moderation. I'll tell you one simple example, not in technology, right? I want to compare 3-4 companies of EVs on their financials and performance. I used to earlier give it to my finance head. He will do a research 1 week and he will come and do a fantastic PPT presentation, 1 hour spending time. Now I don't do that. I just went to ChatGPT or any other AI model and just told them all these companies, I want a full review of financials. Within 1 minute, I got everything on my table. So as CEOs, as CFOs, our business entrepreneurs, today we have much more reach to analytics and data in your fingertips. All our vehicles are connected. I can today see 1,000 vehicles where it is running through our own app, which is available in my mobile. I don't need to know service engineers coming and telling me which vehicle is failed or what. I can see how many vehicles are off-road, on-road, everything. So we need to really upskill. Not when we see upskill, we talk about only workmen. I think upskilling is needed across the organization up to CEO, and we need to upskill ourselves if we have to take this challenge going forward. And then we need to constantly engage stakeholders and do what we need to do. So that's my interpretation. There will be many more. Many of you are more knowledgeable. You will be able to do. This is what I would say what we need to do. Look at product innovation. Product innovation is very, very important. So we got to market. We were the first one to launch an electric double-decker in India. How did it come? Now, there were multiple technical challenges, but look at India. India has not only pollution problem, it has a congestion problem. City like Mumbai, every square feet of the road itself is so worth, you can't afford to anymore have that in that place. It's so costly, then you can't have cars parking in it, driving in it. One vehicle can take about 65 people and move one in a small square feet of 9 meters. It can travel 65 people from one place to another. It's a huge. I saw that in London because we had a London branch and then brought that to India because India desperately need multimodal transport, and that's what product innovation are. Anyway, I'll not go through all this because it's a long presentation my team has given. Second one is technology. Voltages are going up. Charging currents are going up. Battery gravimetric efficiency are going up. Volumetric efficiency has gone up. So it's basically technology between 2015 and 2030 is going to be completely different. It's more advanced. And somebody asked me, IC engines doing incremental improvement. I'll want to show them this graph. We don't do incremental improvements. It is a transformative improvements which is happening, and innovations are happening substantially in the products which we. The other one is telematics. There is a lot of telematics and connectivity phases which we are in. I would say India is not lagging, but India needs to do a little bit more on autonomous and then shared mobility. Something around shared mobility is happening, but we need to look at future of participation in these areas. But I would say India is reasonably well in advanced connectivity and app integration into the system due to our IT. The one gap I feel is we have to look at autonomous and shared mobility area. So ADAS, I'm surprised Government of India said we want to bring ADAS in N2, N3 vehicles quickly. It's a positive surprise, but we are working how quickly in next 2 to 3 years we want to get that because it will help the auto industry to move to the next level where we will be able to make vehicles and then address the global scenarios here. As I said, India is very, very critical on total cost of ownership. People see value, they will buy. If they don't see value, they don't buy. Some of the bigger vehicles like trucks and buses needs a longer gestation period. So we are working on financing of these assets to a long duration so that the consumers don't have what I would say per month cash flow issue, what I call as. So every month you collect some money, you make sure your EMI and your fuel charge is lower than the diesel vehicles EMI and diesel's charge on that particular month. So that's where we are ensuring in the commercial area. You will see cars will not be there in this scenario because cars are basically parked 20 hours or 23 hours and driven for 1 hour. And it's mainly a personal, I would say, personal vehicle, and there are some few cars which are shared mobility which runs a lot, which makes absolute sense on EV because they also pollute and they also congest, and hence when EVs and shared mobility comes, it makes a lot of sense. So manufacturing is actually transforming into, I don't know, nowadays Gen 5, Gen AI, they call many words, but the reality is they are connected, very well optimized, transparent MIS are available across, proactive and agile. Now AI is playing a very, very important role in this. And India, while we say manufacturing, I think we are looking at very incremental improvements, and we are not investing large in manufacturing with a faith that India is going to be leapfrog in this segment. That's why this delay is happening. I believe we can do much more, and with many big players and players coming, it's going to happen. If you look at charging infrastructure, we are at a very, very early stage. We need to have about, my prediction, 150,000 charging infrastructure by 2030 if we have to scale up. And this charging infrastructure cannot happen by government, it cannot happen by private, it has to be public-private partnership, because India is very, very, again, expensive in terms of real estate. You can't afford to have a real estate charge loaded on the charging, no business model will work. So somebody has to give you long lease asset, you need to put a capital and kind of get it done going, and it needs a lot of work. Government of India has given a scheme on PM E-Drive for it, but it's just a booster, I would say, to the system. But we'll have to do a long work with the entrepreneurs on this area. I've talked about upskilling at all levels. We need to be very, very ground rooted on upskilling. I think it has to be structured. Today, I don't see any industry academy or any partnership happening here, but I believe we need to do a structured upskilling rather than doing what I would say unstructured training modules for existing people. It can take us only that far. It is not going to take us to a level where we want to be top 3 globally on the EV. And hence, I would suggest, if some academicians are here, please look at industry, academy and government partnership to upskill in a structured way at all levels, including CEOs, I have said. So we need to look at all levels of upskilling over a period of time. Stakeholder engagement. Fortunately, Indian community is very adaptive to new technologies. Once they decide, they really go full log on it as long as they see value. But we need to look at multimodal mobility. I was talking to somebody here. India, if it has to provide mobility for 1.4 billion people, it's not going to be through cars. It's not going to be like what America or Japan or anybody did. It's going to be a huge multimodal transport. You and me have to get into metro. So I'm happy metro is coming in this conference hall. Next time when we have, hopefully all of us will come in a metro, take a last mile mobility to get yourself dropped in an electric vehicle, which is much more sustainable for the environment, and it should be comfort and convenient. That's what community is moving towards. Government, while it has many policies, need a long-term policy. Government is trying their best with what they have to support the industry. I would give full credit to the both central government and the state government for what they have done with the constraints we have in it. And industry is investing nowadays long term. 5 years back, if you ask me, industry was hesitant in waiting for which way EV is going, whether EV will happen, hydrogen will happen, CNG will happen, LNG will happen. Now they have realized everything is going to happen. Nothing is going to be not happening, because India needs so much energy and so much mobility that everything will thrive. The best will survive. That's the whole philosophy of business and in the want, and that's what we will look at. So, to me, we could be by 2035, which is about a decade from now, a 20 billion EV industry throughout, only in India. And that can happen through the multiple steps: product innovation, technology, TCO, focusing on TCO, getting the manufacturing right, investing on charging infrastructure and widely available throughout, upskilling of team, and stakeholder engagement. So this would be my thoughts on how do we move from 2 million to 20 billion. Now, we'll always, whenever we talk in India, we want to be number one. Okay. I used to tell in many forums, you need not be number one. Don't take that stress with you. Even number two has a lot of value in it. Don't try to fight with number one. Fight with number 2, 3, 4, 5 and get into number 2. I would recommend India should aim right now to become number 2 EV market in the world, which can happen. Don't count only cars. Count all EV mobility done by any human being. We have multiple two-wheelers, three-wheelers, cars, bus, even I would say metros, and then put them in one. How are you electrifying them, making value and also making sustainable, right? Let's say India is now 2 million one. Europe is just 2.3 million. Because every European use a car, not every Indian use a car, right? There are only 25 to 30 out of 1,000 Indians use car, remaining use two-wheelers. So I would say whichever mobility a person is using in that country, if it is electrified, count them on electrification, and that's how you get 2 million, right? And hence we can get above to easily 20 million by 2035. To my knowledge, by 2030, we should cross about 10 million plus, which is very, very close. And it's all possible with all of us working together, with all the society and everybody. And that's a huge opportunity. That's a huge opportunity. That's 100 billion plus opportunity available with us, which we can work with our partners, stakeholders, collaborating with other countrymen and working together to see, because India is a huge market, you can't ignore it. Now, do we stop only looking at Indian market? It's not going to happen. We'll have to think bigger. We'll have to think bigger. How can we make from India to the world? With innovation, manufacturing, supply chain, and export, we can be the hub globally for some of the new technologies which are coming in, and that is EV. And I would say the auto industry have been lagging 100 years behind from the developed world. I believe EV is going to flip that by what we all going together. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I hope you enjoyed.